Sometimes I locked myself up in the room. I cried out my eyes. I know her condition isn't my fault. I wish my daughter go a day before me because I wouldn't afford to leave her in this cruel world. My name is Rashidat Aderunke Olatunji, and beside me here is my daughter. She's an individual living with autism. She's 25 years old. My journey began when my daughter was diagnosed with autism. At first, it was overwhelming as I didn't fully understand what autism meant. So there were moments of uncertainty and difficulty. But whenever I look back to where I'm coming from, I thank God Almighty for the journey so far. My daughter's diagnosis was not just a challenge, but a blessing that has changed my life for better. She is my greatest teacher and my biggest inspiration. She has motivated me in many ways. Even I was motivated to attend the course recently, so I'm now a certified special needs therapist just because of my daughter's condition. When my daughter was an infant, she showed no interest in crawling, and her neck wasn't stable until when she was 1 year old. She didn't start walking until after she turned 3 years. And we enrolled her in nursery school, but she was rejected during that time because she will poo and wee in her body every day. As I said, she poo and wee in her body every day. She couldn't express herself verbally, and this led to frequent tantrums and aggressions when she couldn't communicate her needs or wants. So as an African parent, we tried herbal remedies, various herbal remedies. So my daughter consumes countless herbal concoctions. And I took her to different places for spiritual healings. However, all my efforts were in vain. It wasn't until we took her to a psychiatric hospital where she properly finally diagnosed with autism at the age of 11 years, which was very late. So the hospital introduced us to different strategies to manage her condition. But unfortunately, around this time, my husband passed away, which was our father. He left me alone with my autistic daughter, with 2 other children. The responsibilities that was meant to share among 2 people suddenly become mine alone. So I couldn't afford our therapy and medications, including the antipsychotic drugs prescribed for her at the hospital to manage her tantrums and aggression. So the lack of awareness, the lack of financial support really affected me badly. At a point, I had to leave my children in care of one of our neighbors during that time after my husband passed away. So I went to another city to go and work as a caregiver. After some days, I received a call from my neighbor who was helping me to take care of my children during that period. She told me on phone that my daughter has eloped from the house. My heart was full of heartbreaking hearing that news. So I quickly rushed down to our house after a few days. They finally found her before I even returned back home. So I saw my daughter All her body were full of canes. I asked, how did this happen? They said she was beaten up by the village securities, and olode, we call it olode in our language, during their duties overnight. When they asked her questions and she couldn't communicate verbally, they thought she was pretending, so they now beat her up. You know, as a mother, it was so difficult for me to watch my daughter in that situation. I cried so badly, no one to help me. So I had to leave the work I was doing that time. I stayed with my children. Then I engaged myself in different jobs, like washing clothes for people in the neighborhood so that I can earn money to provide for my children's needs. I wash clothes for people. I clean houses for people during that time. I would go to canteens to wash plates. A lot of difficulties, financial struggle, nobody to help, no in-laws, no family. Eventually, I started raising awareness on social media, and that was how I met different families who have individuals with autism, who had been supporting me so far. And that was how my life changed for better. I met people that have helped me both emotionally and financially. So I thank God for today that I'm still alive. My daughter has such a gentle and loving personality. Even though she is non-verbal, she communicates beautifully through her gesture, expression, and incredible attention to details. Her resilience and creativity, finding a way to interact with me and her younger brothers, are truly inspiring. She has really brings a lot of joy and perspective in our life. She loves music too. She loves listening to hip-hop music. She has headsets, so whenever she's displaying or maybe showing any behavioral attitude, her younger brothers will give her the headset and everything will just... That music has really helping her day. So she's always finding comfort in listening to music. And she has a remarkable memory. As you are looking at her, she knows and understands things, and even when she couldn't communicate verbally, she points to anything she wants at home, and she knows everywhere, anything, everywhere we kept our things differently inside the house. So that is why I said she has a remarkable memory. That is all I can say about her. Being a parent of my autistic daughter has helped me understand autism in a very personal way. I've learned that autism is different for everyone, with its own strengths and challenges. When you see an individual with autism with one character, it will be definitely different from another individual with autism. So they see the world in different way. It has also taught me to be patient, flexible, and understanding more about autism. And it has helped me really pay attention to my daughter's needs. This experience has also made me understand what other families are going through. And it has inspired me to speak up for better support and inclusion, making use of my social media handles to raise awareness for families and individuals with autism. My daughter's condition has affected my daily life in many ways, both emotionally and mentally, also physically, because there was a time I was hospitalized because of the stress and the too much struggles I've been through. At that time when I got diagnosed of depression, that was when I was hospitalized, you know. So, but I thank God that I'm still alive. Also, the houses we've lived in, the stigma, the misinformation from people, the mockery in the community, in the society about individuals with autism. The houses we've lived in, the landlord will have to tell me to leave the house because of my daughter's character. We lived in the first house. After the death of my husband, we start moving from one house to another because they couldn't accommodate us. Whenever my daughter starts a tantrum, she will be screaming, shouting. Most of our neighbors will say she's been struck by the evil spirit. They say hurtful words to my daughter. They call her names like imbecile, you know, masquerade. Look at how she's looking, look at how she's behaving. All these are really painful for me to see, to watch as a parent, as the only parent. Landlords, the owner of the houses, they will give me quick notice just for me to live with my daughter, to leave the house, just because of my daughter's behavior and her way of communication. Also, whenever I'm going out with my daughter, taking her out in public bus has been one of the most challenging aspects of this journey. I will have to hold her hands while walking on the road so that she won't bump into people. As a special needs child, she doesn't even know or understand anything. And even while inside the bus, I will have to hold her hand so that she won't be touching people inside the bus, because most of them run away and even they decline to sit beside us inside the bus. A lot of embarrassment. I remember one day we wanted to enter a public bus and the bus conductor said, no, you cannot go. I haven't understand the reason why the man did that to us that day. We were left alone on the road looking for bus to go back home with my daughter. It was such a terrible day for me. The discrimination in our society. And